My name is Matt Davis, and I have the incredible honor to get to serve as the president of Pastoral Transitions. Now, this is not your normal process to get into a position like this. I very much earned my way in, but not in the way that you might think. I earned my way into this position because my own coming out of ministry was a complete mess. I was a mess. Our marriage was a mess at the time. Our kids, our family, we had a lot of problems, and we left a community in a mess. And it was really through this process that we had to do a lot of soul searching. We had a lot of new life to figure out, a lot of new situations. We were trying to hold on to and save our marriage during this season. We were trying to bring healing to our home and our family unit, and really even just to that community, trying to make sense of where are we now, what will become of my life, what will happen with my work, my job, my career, and really all I have is a seminary degree and some preaching experience. And so that set us in this season of wilderness. It set us into a season of spiraling. And I was trying to figure out what's my job going to be? Who am I if I'm not a pastor? How are we going to afford paying for our life in a very expensive region of the country? And how do we take care of the wounds, and not only the wounds that I caused, but even the wounds that led me to that, right? So there's a lot of undoing and there was a lot of redoing. And so Pastoral Transitions really started as a ministry that is from the heart, and got to start this with two partners that I now deeply call friends. And we're so honored to be able to serve people who are in transition, people who have been pastors, who have served in nonprofits. They may have been in Christian higher education. They may be a missionary who's coming off the field and trying to figure out what to do now. And they're returning back to the United States. And hello, look at the United States might be a little different than when you went to go serve. And we've even had the opportunity to work with Christians out in the marketplace in some sort of transition. And what we find is that it's incredibly interesting is that transition seasons, they can make you or they can break you. And unfortunately, in the ministry world, we see a lot of breaking, and we want to be able to come alongside them, walk with them, and say, it's going to be okay. In fact, what I've really discerned in this season is that this calling for this season of my life, I tell a story all the time. And it's a story about a man who is stuck, and he's in a dark and deep hole, and he's yelling and screaming for help. And all day long, there are people walking by him in that hole. They're hearing him yell and scream for help, but they don't know what to do. And so they just keep walking until one day there's somebody who walks by that hole and hears the man stuck in the hole yelling and screaming for help, and does the unthinkable. He jumps into the hole. And the guy who was stuck in the hole now says to the guy who jumped into the hole, "What did you do that for? Now we're both stuck here." And the guy who jumped into the hole said, "I've been in this hole before and I know how to get out." Somebody told me that story in the midst of my wandering when I was the one stuck in the hole. And I didn't know how prophetic that piece would be for me, because now I'm a hole jumper. I jump into holes with people every single day, people who are in transition, people who are hurting. And this is the work that we get to do, is to bring healing. In fact, one of the things that we see in the church is a lot of division. And that's why we came up with this hat: multiply, not divide. Looks like a math problem, but we didn't think anybody would want to wear a hat that says Pastoral Transitions on it, myself included. But what would it look like to actually bring healing? What would it look like to actually do this well, to do transition well? We're not anti-firing. Sometimes people have to go. Sometimes there are moral failures. But how do we actually respond? Are we known by our love in those seasons? And so we've been doing this for a couple years now. We have seen hundreds of people who have come through, and we've helped them with their career, with coaching, with counseling. We've come alongside them, help navigate finances, help navigate their heart. And truly, there is no greater calling that we have in this small little niche of the Christian kingdom, right? So this is our way to be able to come alongside churches and people who are hurting. And so Here's what I would like to ask is, if you know somebody who's gone through a season of transition, that maybe they got themselves to that place all on their own, or maybe they were forced out and reeling still from a very, very painful circumstance, whatever that might be. If you have a pastor that you love, I can't tell you how many pastors we have who are coming and they're just burned out and they're done, and they need to take a break. They need to figure out what's next for them, and we get to come alongside and say, hey, here's a road map to be able to really see where and discern where God might be leading them. And so a lot of times, a lot of these pastors are coming to us, a lot of these ministry workers are coming to us, and they've been let go and they don't have funding. And what we do, really, it takes funding. And we do as much as we possibly can pro bono. And then beyond that, we have limitations. There's actually hard costs to what we do. And so coming to you as a community to be able to just say, if the Lord has put that on your heart, your organization's heart, if you know somebody who has been in that spot, we just want to say we're here to help. And we have a financial partner that is able to receive donations on our behalf, and then we are able to take that, and 100% of all of those funds that come in, we just put to use. We just put to service, whether that is counseling, whether that is career coaching, whether that is spiritual guides that will walk alongside. We really have an infrastructure that is set up to be able to help people who are in transition for the good of the kingdom. So we love the church and we love the people who serve the church. We love the people who are in the church. And if we could do a little bit more of the multiplying and a whole lot less of the dividing, if we could do this well and we can love our people on their way out, I think that that would be the greatest kingdom impact that we could have in this time, in this season. So join us. This is pastoraltransitions.com. And there is a button on there that says donate. You can go there. You can make your donation. That can be recurring. It can be one time as we approach here at the end of the year. But we want to just say thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. And if you know some people who are in that season of transition, as we're coming here to the end of the year, trying to figure out, as churches are trying to figure out, will our year-end efforts be able to bring in enough to be able to keep our staff on board in this upcoming year? We just want to have you prayerfully consider what God might be putting on your heart, and then donate, and we will put that to work, to kingdom work. So thank you. God bless you, and shalom.